very astute amongst you might remember a video that I did earlier this year where I made much of how this was going to be the year that I made more videos, better videos, did longer rides, boosted the channel numbers, landed that BBC contract, and basically annihilated the world of rambling bicycle philosophy video making. After those fine words, I went a little bit quiet. I haven't made many videos at all, a fact for which I can only apologise. I just haven't really had the chance. In fact, today is the first time I've been out on my bike for several weeks, and I'm loving it. First golden tendrils of spring are starting to unfurl, despite it still being quite chilly. It is amazing cycling weather, and I'm very pleased to announce that there is an adventure in the offing. I've booked myself train tickets bound for Scotland, and on the 7th of May I set off from Inverness to ride the Badger Divide down to Glasgow, and I am incredibly excited. I haven't been to Scotland for years, but I have amazing memories of past rides there. Very high hopes for this coming one. I think the route is going to be exactly what you'd expect from that part of the world, to be honest. Amazing landscapes, no tarmac to speak of, probably some hefty climbs, probably some pushing. The weather is anybody's guess. An unusual point on this one is that I'll be setting off as part of a mass depart. It's not a race, or an organised or supported event. It's just a load of riders who've all agreed to set off on the same route on the same day. So that'll be cool. From what I've seen, people aim to do this one in about 4 or 5 days. But I ride slow. I stop often to film. Looks like a 6-dayer to me. That's what I've given myself. So, although I'll be setting off as part of a group, I fully expect to be riding solo within the first hour, which is fine. It's actually my preferred mode of travel anyway. It'll be very cool to check in with the community, to witness the normally solitary bikepacker coming together in a group in one of nature's most majestic natural gatherings. But I've never really been a group ride type of chap, so I won't be making any effort at all to keep up with the pack. That said, if you're planning on being there on the day, come and say hello. I'll put your face in a video to make you famous. Ish. Kind of a little bit, maybe, sort of, not really. Something that I think I might do differently on this ride to previous rides is food. Now, I'm assuming that based on rides I've done in the past, this one is probably going to be most similar to the Pennine Bridleway. And that was one of the few rides I've done, to be honest, where I haven't had the opportunity to resupply pretty much every day. And I think the badger is going to be even more remote than that. So based on my scant research, if you've done the route, please leave a comment and let me know. But I'm thinking, if I'm going to take 6 days to do it, I'm probably going to need 3 days of food for the middle section. And that's not particularly unusual. I quite often carry 3 days of food or more. And I've never really thought about it until the Pennine Bridleway. Pushing up those steep, rocky gullies was the first time I started to actually think about the practicality of carrying 4 tins of sardines, 4 pouches of pre-cooked rice, a small wheel of camembert, bunches of bananas. All really good food, but heavy and bulky. So this time, to save myself a bit of pain, possibly, I'm thinking of going down the freeze-dried and dehydrated route. So I've bought myself a whole selection of expedition-type meals, which I'm going to try out over the coming weeks. I've done about 30 kilometres now. Found this nice sunny spot in the woods, and I'm going to cook myself up Expedition Foods green chicken curry with rice. See how that goes down. I've never really thought about the spec of my food before, but this food definitely has spec. It comes in this bomb-proof packaging. It weighs 221 grams, of which 201 grams is actually food. It contains 1,000 calories, 33 grams of protein, 94.3 grams of carbs. I don't know what those numbers mean because I don't know how they stack up against my couscous and sardines that I normally have. I assume they're good because it's sold on the website as a double serving of high energy food. I guess the proof of the pudding is in the eating, so I'm going to cook it up. We'll see how it tastes. There is no longer 5 minutes in a person's life than 5 minutes spent waiting for a pot noodle to steep. Okay, moment of truth. Here we go. So, rip the top off for easier access to your sort of beige slop. I mean, it smells quite good. It smells kind of like a pot noodle, to be honest. Maybe a little bit too much water, but it's not bad actually. I mean, if you got it in a Thai restaurant, you'd send it back, but it's got some flavour to it, got some texture to it. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy this, I think. Well, that's that. I polished that off pretty quick, and I quite enjoyed it. It was a dirty, pot noodly sort of enjoyment, but enjoyment nonetheless. I was hungry, very hungry in fact, when I sat down, and I was a little concerned at what looked like quite a small portion. But actually, I'm very satisfied, which I suppose shouldn't come as a surprise considering that it did cost £8 or £9, I think. It's not a cheap meal by any means. My lips feel quite salty. I don't know, there's 3.2 grams of salt in this. I don't know, is that a lot? It sounds like quite a lot. God knows. Anyway, it was nice to have a drink afterwards, put it that way. But I think as far as my first foray into specialist freeze-dried adventure sustenance, the Expedition Foods double serving Thai green chicken curry with rice guess a big thumbs up from me. I'd definitely take that along on a trip. I suppose the next part of the test is to see whether it keeps me sustained for the rest of my ride. I think I've got about 20 kilometers to get home. It's not a particularly hard ride, it's mostly downhill. So I don't know, I'm gonna sit here for 5 minutes, digest, take in this stunningly beautiful afternoon, and then get on my way. And I'll check back in when I'm closer to home and let you know whether my stomach has started rumbling again or not. Hopefully not. See you in a bit. Well, I'm nearly home. There's some stormy clouds in the distance, but the sun is still shining. Legs are aching, which is not great. I've been off the bike for too long. I need to get back on it before this Scotland trip. But I'm not hungry, which is a good thing. I've done about 40 kilometers now, about 15 since I ate. And yeah, I'm still feeling very, very satisfied. So I think a successful trip all round, really. If you have personal recommendations for these types of meals that you particularly like or you've had good experiences with, leave a comment. It'd be great to hear. I'll try out as many as I can before I go. Otherwise, yeah, like, subscribe, go check out the Ko-fi page, all pertinent links down in the description. I try not to leave it quite so long before the next one, but I promise nothing. For now, see you later. Bye.